All right, I'm live streaming. Let me share. Put it on Facebook. Okay. Um. Hi. How are you? Please put a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. 2 years ago, I I guess you can say I was in my heyday in the weed, and it helped me with dealing with being alone and doing all that. That's all I did was weed. Once in a while, I'd buy a wax and I'd have that, but I did a lot of weed and I really was stressed in dealing with my work. And I'd come home and live a different life, my fun life. So let me explain what I would usually do. I would roll a joint while I was talking to you. So let me pretend to do that. I'll pretend to roll a joint because that's what I did. When I used to go live, I rolled joints. I'd have this. Okay, so we're going to pretend to roll a joint and I'm going to talk about, oh God, what did I talk about? Oh, stuff with, okay, I'll make up something. Well, Phantom Fart today, she, she apparently is just doing the usual, you know. So I got an unstable connection. So we're going to be talking about Faff and Fart because apparently she's just farting around and doesn't do her tables and she's just crazy and all. And that's what I used to talk about, people at my work and stuff. And I don't even care to talk about them anymore. I would have to make up people and that's a lot of work for me. It's a lot of rental for people who I really don't care to be in my mind, and that's the reason why I had to change what I was talking about because I didn't care to talk about people that are not in my personal life. So I would sit for a half an hour, talk about crap that I don't do no more. Um, eh, I I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to grow up, and I had a lot of people that I just blocked a whole bunch of people with absolutely no explanation. And I'm not going to go through it. I had no explanation. I just woke up and I started blocking them. No explanation, no talking, no nothing. And that's what I did. I just did that. And I figured as a YouTube creator down the road, I would like to unblock them when I was ready. I was a serve yourself. I thought of myself. I'm going to be, I was kind of an asshole. I didn't care about anyone else but me, myself, and I. And I was a whole different person. I got along with different people, and when I started to realize that talking about your coworkers in a not uh, positive way was not good, so I quit talking about my coworkers and would talk about positive stuff about meditating and stuff like that because I don't care to talk about people who are not in my life and my personal business and my home life at all. I'm a whole different person. Let's just put it this way. When I would have my birthday, we're talking as an adult, I expected my children to go on Facebook and wish me happy birthday or I'd be pissed. I'm not joking. That was 2 years ago. I would get pissed if my kids, adult children, would not write, "Happy birthday, Mom." I don't even look on Facebook no more. I don't give a fuck if anyone says happy birthday to me anymore. But that's what kind of person I was. I was a different person. I was a me person. I had different people on here, and I would have on the side here, it would be filled up. I would be smoking a joint right now. Yeah, I'd be smoking a joint, high as fuck. And I really didn't think that I had to remember everything. I was having fun. I really was. I didn't think it was a memory game. Yeah, you gotta make it. You see, some people gotta realize in your life, in my life, and anybody's, my next door neighbors, my other neighbors, other people, they got lives outside of YouTube. Some people act like they can do certain things that other people can't. We all are YouTube creators and we all change, and sometimes we block people. There's no explanation, and I don't fucking care to give you one. If I have to give you an explanation and you think I'm losing my mind, please do not contact my son. I've been going through a lot of changes, and I have been quitting weed. And it puts me in a fucking attitude when I have people who come up to me and go, "Why did you block me?" It wasn't personal. I blocked you and everyone. I blocked over 100 people in one day. No explanation. And I shouldn't have to give one. If you're going, she blocked me and I thought she was my best friend, and I don't know you from Adam, anyone on here. If you're not my neighbor and I'm not dating you, why the fuck are you calling my son? I didn't know you from Adam. And I do not need to give people explanation why the fuck that I blocked you. If you can't figure it out, I was going through a life change and I wanted to do it alone. But apparently some people go, you blocked me and it was personal. No, it wasn't. You and a lot of other people, many people got blocked. And they did. And then I get the whole psychological thing where they are really worried. I'm on Facebook. I do get messages from people who have sought me out, like when it was my, something to do with the high school reunion and stuff like that. I get people all the time. I don't get to them right away. I'm not looking to message people, but I do get to them. And you can, if you really want to look for somebody and you're that worried about them without stepping over lines, you would have gone to Facebook. Anybody would. And that's where I'm talking about. When you have people who come on your channel, who chat on there, let me tell you this, as a YouTuber, I blocked a buttload of people. And I had one person contact my son, step over the lines, really step over the lines. And that's part of the reason why I felt the need to block him at that time, because I felt that my life and my happiness was better. As a YouTuber, if you wake up and you go, wow, look at that, I just feel, and this is what I thought, I'm going to block them now, and then what I'm going to do, when I feel ready to redo my channel, which I've been doing, and redo myself because I was a server. So let me tell you what kind of person I was. Okay? We're waiting in line. I'm going to be the first one in there or near to the first. I'm going to get my ass over here. I'm going to move. I'm going to slip. Yeah, 2 years ago, I was not someone who liked to wait. I was a rude bitch. I really was. And no one ever said it, but I'm sure they were thinking it. I was not a nice person. I didn't see myself as a nice person. I seen myself that needed to shut the fuck up sometimes at work. And sometimes I should have spoke up more. The only thing that I felt good that I did right was make sure that certain people where I worked at got recognition. Because I felt I had the recognition. I moved on and was ready to move on as a person for a better job and a better everything. I blocked people 2 years ago because I was getting too deep down the weed and Mary Jane trail. And then if that wouldn't have worked, it would have been something harder. And I don't want to go there. And I wanted to change who I was as a person. I really didn't like myself. I was whiny and bitchy all the time. I was like a Jew girl. Wah, wah. Oh, I farted wrong. Oh, I gotta tell you about it. It just felt so bad. I farted wrong. And that's great for entertainment here. But for a real person to walk around and bitching and whining, god damn, it's like PMS 365. Come on. I was a horrible person. I did not like myself. And people didn't like me. I was not nice 2 years ago. I seemed nice. On the out, I seemed wonderful. I was a big pain in the ass. Come on. I really was. I couldn't wait, I just said, let me block everybody and I need to get my shit together. That's what I was thinking. I didn't think that somebody would go out, call my son and call me a nutbag for trying to block everybody with not a single explanation. And that's how it went. And I went on my journey to find myself as a human being, to better myself as a human being. So here I'm thinking I'm doing such a good job. And then I get bitched at by somebody who got mad because I used their name and said they were a Karen on here. I'm going to be honest. If somebody really cares about you, they're not going to do it on a thing. Hey, Mean Green, I took your idea. I did. Mean Green, 2 years ago, I was one of the most self-serving people. The only difference between me and a devil worshiper was not that far. I was self-serving to myself. I was nice to my friends. I did all the nice things. But I'm going to be honest. I was one wet mess of emotional distrust and meanness. I was. If management came up to me and said, hey, Steph, we need you to tighten those jars, I was like a mess. Oh, God. Oh, I'm just nothing but a table. Fuck. I was like PMS 365. So management came up to me one day and said, you got about 15 jars that are loose. I'm like, fuck, I'm losing my grip thing. Let me go get some new gloves. Let me tighten them fuckers up and we can have them rechecked. So I went and did that. And management said, you're okay? I'm fine, sir. Where are the jars so I can tighten them? Over there. I tightened them. They were done. They looked at me almost like this. Are you okay? I'm fine. Give me you don't need, no, I'm good. Let me go get them. When they told me that I could used to do a table alone, I reminded them that most of the people who used to help me for the 2 hours that I needed for the table were no longer there to help me. They were already fired. So no one was there to help me. I worked a whole table by myself. Whereas most people, unless you're artistic and really are good, you're not going to do it. I'm not autistic, so it was the reality. They no longer wanted me there, and I got it. Yeah. So I ended up having a talk with management, and management told me, well, you used to do a table alone. No, I've always gotten help for 2 hours. Ooh, well, that's what I've done for the past 4 years until this year, that they really couldn't get me to cry or get upset. So I was a stoic. That's what I've been reading about. A stoic, when you're dealing with people who give you a hard time. So before I was fired, they sat near a tree underneath. It was like, where, the benches, and they're sitting there in shade, and I'm out in the sun, you know, holding my drink cup, and, listening to them telling me I've worked in the pit for 4 years, telling me that I didn't know how to do my job. And I'm like, okay, is that how you feel? Well, I can't change your idea, is what I told them. I really can't. You already made up your mind a long time ago. Yeah, when I told somebody that I no longer wanted to have anything to do with them. And that was fine. I knew that once I did that, it would be my nail in the coffin. And that's good. I can always go to Burger King. I'm good with that too. I always have something to fall on. But right now, I'm still looking for a job. No, I don't need help. They have that on Indeed, and I'm good. Really. But when I blocked everybody, oh yeah, it took me about a while to undo all the names, because there's over 100 of them. I did a lot of people. And when I did that, under the thought that down the road, when I'm ready, I'll unblock them, because I'm a YouTuber. It is my channel, and I'm no longer getting high and doing all that. But I also think that people who come in here, they should be respectful and understand this is only a channel. And I looked at it, it's like acting. You can just get high and drunk. I would drink, not drink a lot, but I would get, the wax. Oh, God. Oh, I found that, I think, about 3 weeks ago, when I went and did my deep clean and everything. And I found a little bit, and I'm like, I'm going to just throw it with my weed. Oh, Lord, 10 hours later, my son goes, you're kidding me. You took that when? You smoked that? I go, boy, it was the wax with it. Ooh. I have nowhere to go to. I'm not driving. I'm not in anybody's fault. I'm not stealing. I'm not sitting there doing bad things. But I did block a shitload of people without any explanation. And I'm not the first YouTube channel that done that. There's other YouTube channels that do that from time to time. I don't know why, and I never asked them. It just is what it is. So I went and tried to better myself if I was doing that. And I also didn't go on as much. It just was harder to go on. I didn't know what I was going to put myself with. You get a lot of people that come in, and in my time that I have learned on being on YouTube, I used to just do a post or two, in 2012 when I started. I never thought of being, monetized, but it'd be nice. You're fine. I don't want you to get mad or anything, so there's nothing I can say. You belong to this channel. It is what it is. I mean, I got somebody in here. So as always, like, subscribe, and share. It helps with the channel. And as you know, there is, if you have a Cash App, then I can provide that for if you want to down the road give. But yeah, that's what we do here. I'm more business. I got tired of having meltdowns that were crappy at work. I used to, when I had this one lady who used to come and punch you, like you think, I don't know if she was doing it to be mean or she was doing it because she didn't like me. But I always made sure that I stayed on the one side because she would do it to everybody. But I would say, no, no, don't touch me, don't touch me. But I would get kind of miffed at that. And I know people get miffed when, you block without, you weren't there. There was more people blocked like you could not believe. And I unblocked them, except one person, and that'll be left at that. And they know who they are. They do. Okay, thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, I was a serve yourself person. I really was. That was not nice. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I um, I changed, and when I changed, I just blocked everybody. No excuse. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you can watch the replay of it. It's just the replay. They'll have it out there. I just put it out. I did block a whole lot. You weren't there was more people out there, and I did it because of a lot of things that were personal, and I'm not going to bring them out. And no, it's not because it's just I felt that at that time I felt that was what I wanted to do, and I did. So when I did it, I felt okay. I was like, yeah, you know, I wanted to change my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a lot of stuff, and I blocked people for my reasons that I felt were justified at that time. I did. And when I started to grow up where I no longer, where people were blaming me, I'm going to be honest, I get blamed for people having a bad day. And I am not even joking. They go, hey, they're joking about it. But I'm like, you almost, even people there were like making a joke about, they'll just blame Stephanie for the bad day. Because I already got blamed back then for them being a week behind. Now, let me tell you about this. The reason why I was blamed for being a week behind because one of the managers had a child and she wanted to take an extra week off. And I said, well, why does everyone else have to? We could have been called back a week early and the manager could have still been on vacation. I mean, it wouldn't have hurt anyone else. I mean, and that's the way I figure. They blamed me so I would be fired. And they told me. They're not going to have someone help me for 2 hours. And I said, then that's like saying you don't want me here. I'm just putting it out there because I had ample help for the 2 hours. And he said, well, you're always making jokes that it might be your last week. And I go, well, obviously it was true on that week. I never knew and I never felt comfortable enough where I was working at where I felt that I had roots to stay. Most people didn't even want to stay there because of all the stuff that went on, just the games and stuff. And I get tired of playing the children games like Tattletale. Oh, God, today's hot. I made it, wow. You know, I made it an emphasize about being really hot, and it was 120 in the building, and then we had to put on our suits and zip them up, and I was in a hot area for quite some time, and I used to wet my hair so I could stay and finish what I needed done, and I never bitched to anybody. It was hard work, but I got tired of being everyone's bitch, and that's when I decided to change my whole foundation of this to be more comic and more serious because I want to make money off of here. I look at, how wonderful it is when you have people and you put your hard work in, you tell about your stories about work and all the funny stuff, but I don't work there no more and I don't care to talk about there. It's been in my past and I can't wait to say it's way in my past because that was a part of me that was, I'd spend a half an hour doing the weed and smoking. Oh yeah, isn't that funny? You know, I sound like a fucking idiot. Most of the time, I couldn't remember jack or shit. You know, oh, I don't know. How do you? I couldn't even write. I couldn't do all the things that I've been doing now. I couldn't even drive a car because I was too high. It's like someone drunk. You don't get in a car drunk. You don't get in a car high. So I would have to wait. I waited a whole day. I messed up a whole day because I did wax, and I'm like, ah, yeah. It was great when I needed to heal. It was great when I was dealing with my operation and I only took 1.5 opioids. It was great when I had to deal after finding my husband with another woman. It was great. But now I have outgrown that too. And if I had my choice, I'd rather block it like a computer and not have to worry about it. But I'm slowly going down because if I stop cold turkey, I'll probably lose some weight. Yeah, that's good. Woo-hoo. But yeah, if you feel and you have been unblocked and you are checking this out for the first time, you are not the only one. I went through what I call a mental metamorphosis, metamorphosis of myself. I got tired of crying when management would say something is wrong. I got tired of being weeping willow all the time when I farted wrong. I got tired of feeling sad all the time when, just life was coming along. That's what happened. I stopped feeling sorry for myself and started loving myself. I had to learn to love myself. It took me 2 years to learn to love myself. I hated everything. The most thing I hate is my breasts. So when men mention it in a negative mood, I tend to, like, I'm always like, oh shit, you get something bigger than, let me go in. No, I'll get a bigger boob. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was so much into me. I didn't care what was happening outside the world. I didn't care what was going on. Literally, uh, what was it? War started, and I didn't even know. I was high in bed. I didn't give a flying fuck. They could have had a bomb go off over in Vegas, and I'd be, I'm high, woo! Hey, let's go on YouTube. Let's go, woo, woo, woo. Oh yeah, oh me. I mean, it was great. I'd go in swimsuit tops. It was wonderful. I'd be half naked most of the time because it was hot in there. Oh, the men loved it. I was like a little naked thing, Sometimes I'd, have that. I was all excited about being skinny and having fun. Woo, I'm half naked. Yeah, a lot of the guys, liked my show because I acted like the typical ditzy blonde that you would envision in the 1980s and 70s. Yeah. Okay. Barbara Buffalo. I got Barbara Buffalo. Woo-hoo. Yeah, I did. I went through a change 2 years ago. Uh, all right, night. Yeah. And what happened was I just blocked a buttload of people that were my subscribers. I did. A whole bunch of them. Just block, 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 block. And then I looked at how I was dressing on YouTube. I was dressing like a little hussy. I wanted views and I wanted a lot of people. And I didn't think that dressing scantily would get maybe some people that, yeah, some of the people I thought, well, I'm not putting out what I want, And you get these guys, hey, just whip out your boob, and I'll go, no, it's not. You go on OnlyFans, man. You're just a cheap bastard trying to get a cheap thrill, and that's what I would tell them. And it was true. I was setting myself up as a sex symbol, but not wanting to deal with it. So I stepped back for about 3 months and didn't go on. And thought, wow, this is not what I want. I look like a hoochie mama. Hoochie, hoochie, hoochie. And I'm like, wow, I want to be thought a little more serious. I look like, yeah. I'm like, so after 3 months, I went back on. And it just wasn't getting the views and stuff. So I'd go on there a little bit, and I would go on there like when I would eat my, they had pink box here at the time, and I'd eat the pink box, and I enjoy that. And I really did. It just wasn't as fun. And I had to figure out how to do I couldn't figure it out. And I just do my comedy because of the fact, I mean, I can do Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Hello, how are you? I'm Dr. Ruth West. Hello, I'm Dr. Ruth Westheimer. On sexually speaking, yes, I'm a little lady. I'm Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Yeah, on sexually speaking. That was the biggest show they had, was Sexually Speaking by Dr. Ruth Westheimer. And I used to do the intros for my high school and for another school that I used to go to. And I took retailing there, and they loved it. So I used to do the retail. It is, hello, this is Dr. Ruth Westheimer. I shop over at the bookstore all the time. Come over and see me. Come here, come on. And they couldn't believe that I can make Dr. Ruth's voice. So I was joked. My nickname at both the schools that I went to were Dr. Ruth. They joked about it because I can do her voice, and they loved it. And I can do English people. Oh, darling, come here, darling. Come on, all hither. You know, come here, darling. Oh, it's just like watching BritBox. I wish I had that. I love the British stuff because it reminds me of the happy times when I would be with my aunt and uncle in California, and all the times I've hung out with them. Because I actually did bring my aunt and uncle together. We were over at the Queen Mary, and I went through one of their, they showed how big their bolts were real big, you know, and they had a little kid go through it, and that was me. And it was amazing. I got my aunt and uncle together, and they've been together since. So yeah, it's amazing. And it, I just wanted to put it out there. I am sorry, guys, if you feel that I have taken a personal note and blocked you. I did not block you out of personal note. I blocked a buttload of people. The only person I haven't blocked, they know who they are, and I will not block them. I mean, I will keep them blocked, but everyone else got let go, you know? And I'm going to do it, you know, more or less just checking up on it. Because now I know how to get through it. I don't need the thing, yeah. And I had to go on, you know, you go on YouTube College, you know, god dang, how to, oh, there's a video, okay. Step by step is what I want. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do. I like the ones that say step by step because it says step one. Okay, I already did that. Step two. All right. Seriously, I look for the one that says step by step because I want to know each step. I don't want you. Oh yeah, you get these young guys are like, you go here, 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 da, da, da. Oh, you're done. What the fuck did you do? I'm looking on there. I need the step by step shit. Fuck that shit. I'm go over there. You know, I want the step by step. Yep, yeah. Oh yeah. Same with StreamYard. You can learn how to use StreamYard. You use step by step, and they show you step by step how to do it. An idiot can do it. I can do it. Shoot, look at that. Number one idiot right here. You know, you can go and do that. Yeah, but it took time to learn to love myself and my body in the way it is and accept it the way it is. Just love it. And it took me a while. My boobs took me a while. It's like, love my boobs, yes. Okay. uh, so when I changed, I also changed at work. People noticed I didn't care. I didn't need validation to be with anybody. I really don't. And I don't care if somebody wants to hang out with me or don't. If they don't, it's their whole thing. That's all it is. It's how they feel. They don't want to hang out with me. Fuck them. I got my own stuff. I got my books on my phone, and I can do my own thing. And that's where I'm at. It's hard to explain, but once I started to feel like I was being a grown up and acting actually like a grown up, people really looked at me different. Like, like, who are you? And what did you do with the other Stephanie? The one that was more fun. The one that was high all the time. Woo! Let's just smoke some weed, is what I used to say. Mary Jane, Mary Jane. That was great. I was also crying on the inside most of the times I would do these videos. I was fucking miserable and crying on the inside doing these videos. Really. I was the most miserable motherfucking person you ever met on the face of the earth. Let me explain something. When you have a manic depressive and you're just sick of dealing with your child's daddy or your roommate, and you're tired of dealing with all the shit, you have no one to blame, and I blame myself. I should have just divorced him years ago, but it is what it is. And I'd get bummed. I get bummed about my life. I get bummed that no one wanted to hang out with me. And then I thought, hold it, hold it. I thought back. No assholes want to hang out with me. I'm not spending extra food money on my friend that I don't have. I'm not dealing with any more drama, no drama here with no friends. Hold it. I got a good thing going. It's quiet. There's no drama unless, somebody has something else going around that I don't know. But on the average, I thought to myself, hold it, let me think back. My children are grown. I don't have grandkids. Oh, what am I bitching about? And I sat there and thought about this. Man, I need to get some shit done. And I started looking at all my stuff and all my shit and all the things. I don't need to go shopping very much. I got a lot of stuff to get rid of now. I'm realizing I got stuff. I got lots and lots of shit to get rid of and go through. And for me to sit there and say why I don't have friends, well, if friends don't want to be friends with me, fuck them. I have Mean Green and I have Barbara Ruffalo, and they're my friends. No, they're not here, but boy, are they there when you need them. Because I have never had anyone just get angry, and the only thing I can figure out, I took a shitload of people and blocked them. Yeah. I love you guys. I'm sending you the love. You guys are great. No, I'm not perfect. And getting off of weed's one of the hardest things I've ever done. I bought this 2 weeks ago. And this is almost a full thing. Look, I bought it 2 weeks ago. I haven't been using it. It's almost a 14 grams, and it's like 20, I think it's 23. Yeah, it's 23. I used to do 30. I used to do 30. That was like, it's a good hybrid and doesn't put you to sleep. Like if I have a stressful whatever and I feel I need weed in the daytime, it's not going to put me over to have me fall asleep. And that's, it is what it is. I'm going down in that. I know that a lot of people who, I guess it would be like, I just changed and I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be serve yourself. I wanted to actually help and really come from the heart. And I've helped before and I've done that, but really come from the heart and enjoy it. Yeah. And that's how I feel now. I was quite the character, like I call it the Spitfire. but I was a whole different person. I really was. It was after I changed after I got sick for 3 days with the flu. I had to take time off from work 2 days. I took Friday and Monday off, and I had the whole weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were spent being sick, and Monday I cleaned up. It was pretty bad. It was really bad. I I've never had to sit on the toilet with a bucket before, but boy, that was an experience. And afterwards, I was a changed person. I can't explain it, but I was changed, and I didn't want my channel no more. I didn't care if it was monetized. I wanted to change it. I was the hoochie mama girl, and I really didn't like that. And people treat you like you got no brains. So I didn't go on for a while, and then I'd go on sporadically. It just got to the point where I didn't enjoy it as much, and that's when I just blocked people and went along my life. And I believe that I shouldn't have to say I'm sorry. It's my channel. So I am going to, it's late, and I'm going to let everyone, um, I know that there's a lot, I know my moderators live far from me and stuff. So I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for everything. I'm just going to, I just want to say my piece. I'm not going to be the same person. I'm going to keep moving up and onward. I know that somebody put doubt into my kid's head, and I really don't think that that was needed or forewarned. I really don't. It just is what it is. There's certain things. So I have put my email address and the information down below. Please, if you want to contact me, use that email address. Do not try to contact my son in any form or manner. Yeah. So, and that's where I'm at. And have a cosmic evening. I will, um, I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I am going to listen. 7:30, Mr. X is going to be there. So if I get anything to show, yeah, Mr. X is coming on, and I'm excited. Yeah, I was a different person. I really was, and I'm sure some people thought I was better. I had triggers to the point where I didn't want to go out in public anymore. And it got to the point where I just get stupid and act, it's just like, oh no, I don't think, no. I now stand up for myself. I don't put up with stuff anymore. And it scared people when I said, okay, you're going to fire me. That actually scared them. They didn't, they didn't know what to do with a grown up. They were like, she grew up. What are we going to do? And I'm like, I can't change people's minds if they already have it made up that they want to fire me. It is what it is. And I'm not going to sit there and cry and give them a whole act because it's not going to happen for me anymore. I am sorry that if people felt a twinge in their whatever when I blocked with no explanation. I was going through stuff, and it just the way it goes, it just happens that way. And boy, 3 days. Yeah, I've had, oh boy. Let's just put it this way. I don't take time off unless I really am sick. So when I take time off, it's usually because I'm sick. Yeah. So I took 2 days off. Yeah. And that's the only thing I can say about that. Afterwards, I sat there really hard and thought what kind of piece of work I was. And I had to learn to love myself, really love myself. Every nook and cranny, gotta love them. And I did. And I had to start forgiving. That was the first thing I remember. Who the first person I forgave is with myself. I had to go all through that all again. Forgive everybody. Forgive everybody. If I didn't think of anybody and if I woke up and thought, I went and forgave. I had to go on a long, long trip of realizing that I was an asshole. I really was. I was a nice asshole that would have triggers that were like childish and very embarrassing for myself. After I would have like that happen, I go, God damn, can I just hold it together? I'd have to. The only difference is I do a stoic. I can be crying on the inside, but no one would know. And yeah, I was disappointed. I no longer was the crybaby or going to be the tattletale. I'd rather be grown up in a different job, even if it made a little bit less money. But I deserve good things to happen to myself, not to have someone call my son and act like he's caring when I feel I feel that it's not personal. Do not take it personal. Well over 100 people were on that, blocked list. And I still got to take some more people off. I was just like, shoot, I just blocked all the people I wanted to. And then once that was done, so I can unblock some more people. And that's where I'm at. I love my people. I work hard. And yeah, I think that he got thinking it was personal, and it really wasn't. And no, you don't need to call my son. I was more, I would say, like after, um, I would say that when I was under a lot of stress, where were the people the Christmas that I had nobody do nothing for me? And I spent a whole Christmas. My son didn't bother with me. No one cared. I could have, if I wanted to off myself in the RV, it would have been easier there. Seriously. I sat there and thought, well, isn't there a way to, do this? And I was like, if I would have killed myself, they would have not found me for 4 days. I wasn't going to kill myself. I wasn't going to hurt, I mean, unalive myself in any form or fashion. I just get sad. And I was like, everything made me sad. And once I got done being sick and realized what I was doing and realized all the stuff that I did, I no longer got triggered about a lot of stuff at my work because I seen what they were doing and they like to play. I just don't play their games anymore. I don't get triggered. You want to fire me? Fucking do it. Don't sit there and say it. Don't act like I'm going to get upset. It's like, fuck you. You went in front of the whole company and told me I was a piece of work when at one time I was the only employee that made it on work on time, if I remember correctly. I was the only employee that made it to work on time besides another person. So, yeah. It was great until I changed and then my work. It was no longer fun. I just was a different person and I couldn't explain it to people at all. I changed and I moved on and I'm good. They helped me make sure I kept my Jeep. I can thank them for that. I just wish they would have given me my 4 days of uh of my I had for being there 4 years, I had 4 days of vacation. They should have given me that, but it is what it is. So yeah. And that was because I blocked him. That was the only reason. He can say all he wants, but it's because I blocked him. And he took it personal, and he shouldn't have taken it personal. I did it with everyone. Pretty much all my followers at that time, I blocked because I changed my format and changed who I was. I couldn't go on there being high and acting stupid. No one's going to take me seriously. They'll look at me like I'm dumbass. And that's what I thought. I was hungry. I haven't eaten really today. So after being yelled at by this person, I am afraid to block people. I really am. I'm thinking they'll come back and bitch at me, you know? Really. Or use a psychological effect. That's my favorite. My ex used that too. They use the psychological effect in saying that you're going crazy and try to include your son. It is so wrong. It really is. I was more suicidal when I was on there 2 years ago, sweetheart. I really was. Yeah, I was. I was more suicidal 2 years ago. In fact, when just before I got sick, I gave away my gun. I didn't feel comfortable with it. That's how bad I was before I had the flu. That's when it changed. It was 3 days of sitting on the toilet and throwing up. I changed then. I can't be the same. I think that that's what it is. I really do. I did it without explanation. Yeah, I do. I think it was because it blocked you and a bunch of other people. I really did. And I think it should be my whole thing. If I want to block somebody without explanation, I should have the right to do so. You know? You know, it just is what it is. I blocked a lot of people, a whole lot of people. I blocked a lot of people. I like over 100. I changed and it just happens. I'm no longer the same person. I really don't care to have weed. I really don't. I don't need it no more. I really don't. No. And that's why I changed my format and I blocked people. I thought that was fine, that I can block people. And that's it. I just never had somebody literally go total full nuclear on me ever like that. Ever. Pretty much say to me that I'm a fucking nutbag. Call my son, get him involved. Oh, that's just fucking lovely. That's playing a game that I don't like. Let me tell you what that is. That is getting pissed off because somebody blocked you. That is calling your somebody's son because you're pissed off. To what? You wanted to, teach me a lesson? Because that's what I feel that you have put through. No, it's not concern. You go on Facebook, you can find me under Stefania Candy Nagel. You could have messaged me. I had people who I went to college with who found me through Facebook. You messaged me a couple years ago and I didn't care to talk to people. It was my choice. And then 2 years later, you come back again? I just don't get it. It's just, let's just be honest. That was wrong. You overstepped the line. You really did. No, you overstepped it. Contacting my son pissed me off. You do never do that. I'm going to have a talk with my son because I don't know you from Adam. I don't know you at all. And I don't owe you an explanation whatsoever. And you will never go on somebody's thing and bitch to me. I am not your bitch. I am not your bitch. You understand? I am not your bitch. I don't care how many years you all know me. If you can't deal with me blocking you and several other people, then that's not my problem. Do not contact my son. You overstepped yourself. No, we were friends. I'm a different person and I'm not sorry for it. And I will not take somebody treating me like I owe them an explanation when I really don't. I don't owe you nothing because you've never given me nothing. I don't. Good. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're not going there. So, if you have, as a YouTuber, the right, but people do get mad, I am sure that somebody got mad after I blocked a bunch of people. Somebody, I don't know who, 24 hours later mentioned that my son looked young. And I had to prove the fact that my son wasn't young. He had to send through YouTube and all this stuff. He was like, fuck. He helped me get my channel where I can go back on it. My son, yeah. But as for somebody contacting my son, you overstepped your bounds. If you do not understand my healthy boundaries, then go fuck off. If you can't understand my healthy boundaries of not contacting my son, which from now on I will put on the bottom of here. And if you cannot understand healthy boundaries, which I feel that you can't, then I'm just putting it out there. Don't contact my son. It's not concern. It's not coming off as concern. It's coming off that you are meddling. You're coming off as a Mrs. Kravitz. That's what you're coming off as. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not yelling. I'm just telling you how I feel. And I would never, never, ever contact someone's family member unless I really did not like them. I'm going to put that out there. And I am going to, and another reason why I deal with a specialized therapist is because I had a therapist that fell in love with me. I deal with somebody who I don't have to go to, and they're not going to fall in love with me. Because my therapist told me that it was our last session and he wanted to confide into me, and he said, you know, I would have a relationship with you if I had my druthers because you got your shit together. You finally, you know, it was like after I got sick and everything, he said, I made great leaps and bounds. But then I hear from somebody else here on YouTube, they contacted my son. They contacted my son because they felt concerned. Yeah, and so did the Kravitz. Every time she came over and looked through their, you know, looking in there, you know, making sure everything's okay. We've got to be concerned citizens. If I had people like you coming on, you know, like neighbors, I would have the police would be called here all the time because they're just concerned. She blocked me. I'm concerned. Go fuck off if you're that concerned. You're not concerned, and don't bullshit me. And don't go and bitch at me at another place. Because if you have nothing to say to anybody, go fuck off. I got better things to do than to argue with a psychotherapist. My uncle was a therapist. So I said my end. Everyone have a good one. All right, I'm ending tonight. I'll be on Friday when Mr. X is watching the football game. Good night.